Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here, whether you're in person or online. Appreciate you being here. To state the obvious, a few things have changed and transpired here in the last few days. I can tell you this, and I'm going to take a second. Mike Bloomgren, Coach Bloomgren, is one of my best friends. 18 months ago, he sold me on a vision for Rice football and a vision for Rice University. And that's why I'm here. That's why I came here. And I can tell you this, that he gave his heart and soul for 7 years to Rice University and Rice football. And that Rice football, I would tell you that there isn't anybody in this building wouldn't tell you that it's not better for having him here in that time. Having said that, we all know too that football is a results-oriented business. Coach Bloomgren understands that. We all understand that. Okay. Nobody sets out to be 2-6. Nobody says, hey, boy, I can't wait to be 2-6. Fact of the matter is that's where we're at right now. Okay. And moving forward is where we're headed. We're moving forward. I am honored. I was humbled and excited to have the opportunity to lead this program for the next third of the season. We have a third of the season left. There's a lot of games to be played. There's a lot of things to happen. And I'm excited to have this opportunity. I appreciate the administration here in trusting me with the opportunity to lead this program for that time. And having said that, as we look forward, one of the things we've talked about as a football team is, the metaphor is this: you take the rear view mirror out of the car, you look through the windshield. And we're looking forward. We're not looking backward. We're looking forward. We're looking forward to every game and every opportunity. We know we're guaranteed 4 more opportunities to play in 2024. And I know this, as a staff, we are committed to giving our players the best opportunity they have to go out and win and compete every single week. All right. We're guaranteed 4, and we'll take every one of those and cherish every one of those opportunities. Cannot tell you enough about how the staff has handled this change in a short period of time. Appreciate everything that they have done. And the players, change is never easy. It's never easy when it's planned, let alone when it's not planned. But I'm very proud of the way our football team has handled that change and how they're going about their business and how they're working. And so I want to make sure that everybody understands that can't be more proud of the people in this building and how they've attacked this change and gotten after it in the last 48 hours. Having said that, wow, hey, guess what? It's Coach Alamar, you're going to be the interim head coach. And oh, by the way, you're playing number 24 Navy this week, who are 6-1. Here we go. Okay. That's who we're playing. And I'll tell you what, they are an impressive football team. There's a reason why a team is 6-1. There's a reason why you're ranked 24th in the country. Okay. And it starts with all 3 phases of your football team. And when you play well on offense, defense, and special teams, you're going to win games. And you're going to be nationally ranked, and deservedly so. And when I look at what Coach Newberry and his staff has done, what a tremendous job in a short period of time to take this program and take the Navy program to where it's at today. You look at their offense, and what you see is, everybody's going to want to talk about, Navy runs the ball. Yeah, they run it really well. Close to 270 yards a game, okay, on the ground. But don't sleep on their throwing game, okay? They are a very, very effective passing team. You've got a quarterback that's rushed for 750 yards. He's thrown for 976 or 78 yards passing. They've got 4 wide receivers that average over 19.2 yards a catch. So they can stretch you vertically. They can run the football at you. What a challenge for our defense. And our defense is done a great job. Okay, you look in, especially of late, of playing hard and fighting and being physical. But boy, what a challenge we get, And any time you have to defend a team that brings the quarterback into the picture, that challenge just goes up exponentially. You know, we're not playing an eye football team that's just going to hand the ball to the tailback or toss it to him. Now you've got to play the fullback who can run the ball. You've got to play the quarterback who can run the ball. You've got to play both the other backs that are in their system, right? They've got so many opportunities. So you really have to be on point in everything that you're doing. Just a couple other guys besides Blake Horvath, who, by the way, is just a rock star. There's a reason why, you know, people talk so highly about him when you turn the film on. You know, they've got a Swiss Army knife in Eli Heidenreich. You know, he's their third leading rusher. He's their leading receiver. He's got 25 catches. And, you know, they've got a fullback that's averaging close to 20 yards a catch too. So they can run the rock and he can catch the ball. So just a ton of talent. Wide receiver group, like I said, obviously can get down the field with you and run and catch the ball well too. So very, very big challenge, great opportunity for our defense to come out and show what they've got on Saturday. Looking forward to seeing that matchup. Then you flip the page and you talk about their defense. And you know, I'll tell you, the first thing that jumps out at me is you've got two linebackers that play the Mike and the Will spot, and you know, it just so happens they're number 43 and 44. Go figure. And you know, but they've accounted for 138 tackles. Okay, that jumps out, right? Those two guys are making a lot of plays for you. But then you look at that and you peel it back that layer one more time, and you look at their front, and they're so disruptive. You know, it starts. I think their nose guard Landon Robinson is as disruptive of an interior player as we'll see all year. You know, you got Justin Reed, one of their players outside. He's got 7.5 TFLs. And let me back up the truck just a little bit. Okay, you look at their defense. First of all, this is a defense that plays with a lot of movement. They play with a ton of speed, and they're a disciplined outfit. They run to the ball extremely well. We're going to have to be able to track movement and hit movement. And, you know, so just what they're doing with that. And then you look 40 tackles for loss. Okay, where do you think they want to play the game? They want to play the game on our side of the line of scrimmage. So a great challenge for us offensively, you know, as we game plan, and Coach Tui and the staff are working on that hard. And, but what a challenge it is to just have to track all that movement, get a hat on a hat, and defend. And then they're, you know, in the secondary, I don't want to, they've got 10 interceptions on the year. You know, their corner Peel, as Deshaun Peel's got 3 of them. Their free safety, the Mr. Lane has 2 picks. You know, so obviously an active, aggressive secondary that can get their hands on the ball and play that way. Very solid in the kicking game. Gee, I can tell you that. You know, just looking at them, that they're gonna do great. That, you know, they're gonna come at you. They're gonna be aggressive in the kicking game, but they're gonna be very solid. And you know, they've got some returners that if you put the ball in their hand, obviously, if you watch them again, Mr. Heidenreich's name shows up again, right? He's a punt returner for them. So, you know, if they want to hand the ball to him, they want to throw the ball to him, and they want to let him return kicks. So obviously, when you put the ball in a guy's hand like that guy's going to be dangerous. So our coverage units are going to have to be on point and do their job this week too. So just very, very excited for this opportunity, excited for the challenge that Navy's going to bring, and we know they're going to bring a great challenge to us. And what I've seen so far is our guys are working their tail off to accept that challenge and meet that challenge and play that game on Saturday. And that's the beauty of college football, man. You got to play the game, and we're going to have that opportunity to play it. This week happens to be, you know, our salute the service game, which is pretty fitting. We're going to honor the military, and we're playing one of the military academies in that game. So that's a very fitting opponent for us, and we're looking forward to it. And at this point, I'll take any questions anybody has.
What's been the overall mood of the team, and any messages you can share you gave to the guys?
Yeah, you know, the thing we talked about is just that, you know, we have an opportunity to play games. There's a third of a season, man. That's a lot of ball. There's a lot of things to do. And the mood has been, hey, we're moving forward and we're not looking back. we're going to move forward. Yeah, there's change, and that's okay, because when change happens, then you have a chance to affect change. And so we want to change the way our season's going. We have an opportunity to do that. And that's the way the players are looking at it. That's the way we're looking at it. And that's what, so far we've had one practice in the books. I liked yesterday's energy. I like the enthusiasm of our guys.
And I know it's different than Army, but having played a service academy, are there at least some similarities that can help the team, both sides?
I think when you look at it, they're both, while you want to say they're similar, they're also different. Okay. And the one thing I would tell you is, there's some carryover actually offensively for us. We played a defense last week that philosophically was very similar to Navy, in that they wanted to move, or they want to move. You got to be able to hit movement. You got to be able to track movement. We're hoping there's obviously some carryover there. Obviously, we've had a chance to, from last week's preparation. But again, every school is going to have its own nuance to who they are and what they are. As far as, the obvious thing when you look back at Army and you look at Navy, is Army's offense ran through their quarterback. He was a big part of what they do. Navy's offense, their quarterback's a big part of what they do, obviously. I mean, we see that statistically. We see it when you put the film on. But they're both their own separate entities in what they do. So that from a carryover standpoint, you're going to, I think the biggest thing that carries over is when you're playing a service academy, you're going to play a tough, hard-nosed, physical, disciplined football team. You want to look at the obvious ones, that's that. There's a reason why those guys are in the service academies. And so from that standpoint, yeah.
Coach, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm curious to know, what does a step like this mean for you?
Well, let me tell you, okay, for me, here's what I know. I've been entrusted with this to lead this program for the next 5 weeks. And for me, all I'm concerned about is putting our guys in the best position they can to play fast and to play free and have an opportunity to win games, period. And then after that, it is what it is. I'm under no illusion that I'm not here to audition for the head job. I'm here to lead this program for the next 5 weeks and do the best job I possibly can for those guys over there. And for those of you that aren't here, I was just pointing to a couple players. That's why. That's me.
Can you talk about preparation in terms of your energy and what you have to do now as the interim head coach to get these guys ready, get yourself ready for the game?
Yeah, I can tell you this. I have much better appreciation and did not have enough appreciation for all the things that a head football coach has to do that has absolutely nothing to do with X's and O's. So to all those guys that do that on a full-time basis, man, I have way more respect for them and what that job entails. So, for the last 48 hours, man, I've been drinking out of a fire hose, not kidding, just trying to handle that. And it means a little less X and O's and a little more, just management, program management, the questions that you have to answer on a daily basis that have nothing to do with what are you going to run on third down, or are you going to punt the ball here? Are you going to go for it on fourth? But then for me, from a game standpoint, we're going to make some adjustments as far as, as a special teams coordinator. I'm going to bring one of our guys out of the box. It's going to help me a little bit more on the sidelines so that to free me up from a decision-making situation to be a little bit more forward-facing on third down. A lot of times a special teams coordinator on third down is facing away from the field because he's trying to get a group of people together. And just doing a lot more study as far as, the analytics situation and some of that, that I've got to be more on top of than I've had to in the past. Fortunately, we have Dan Gritty, who is on our staff that'll do a lot of helping me prepare game management wise, to handle that situation. So yeah, it's been a little bit different, not gonna lie, but it's been fun. And again, man, just the opportunity to have a chance to go play this game. Man, it's a great game. I've been fortunate, man. I've been doing this for 40 years. And I wouldn't trade a second for it, and look forward to every second I still get to do it. So where we're at.
What is the Pete Alamar-led version of Rice football going to look like? What are your fingerprints that you hope to leave with this program?
I mean, you've been in practice, okay? Here's the thing. Pete Alamar is a guy that likes to be enthusiastic. Okay. Like I said, I want to play fast. We want to play free. And we want to have a good time doing it. And we want to play hard. We want to be physical and fight. And again, we're not where we want to be result wise, but I can tell you this football team has continued to grow as a team. They've continued to grow in getting better at things that you need to do to win games. And the fight in this football team has been strong, and I would anticipate that it will continue to be strong. So a Pete Alamar-led football team is going to fight their butt off for 60 minutes or however long it takes. And they're going to play fast. They're going to be physical. And we're going to be enthusiastic about playing this game because we only get so many tries. And it's a great game.
And you mentioned 40 years. Read through your bio before. You've had a lot of jobs in football. Have you ever been an interim head coach, and how did those other jobs prepare you for this?
Well, so at the first question, the first answer is, nope, never been an interim head coach. Been a head coach? Yes. Okay. Spent 1994 in the country of Mexico at the University of Nuevo Leon as a young 34-year-old head coach. And so I learned something from that. But you know what? I've been really blessed. I've been around some great head coaches. I've been around guys that all did it different ways. I was with Dick Tomey at the University of Arizona, who I think's probably shaped me more than any coach has. I had the opportunity to be with Jeff Tedford for 7 years at Cal, and they two totally different coaches that were extremely successful coaches. But you learn from every one of those coaches. 11 years with David Shaw, to think that I would, to be able to pick his brain for 11 years and learn. Those are all things that you pick up along the way. And then at the end of the day, you shape and you take those pieces and hopefully you create who you are. Because at the end, man, you got to be you. And I've had some friends reach out, and probably the number one thing that friends have told me and reached out and said is like, hey, just be you. Just be who you are. And I text them back and I go, man, it's too late to change now. I am who I am. So yeah, they get me, they get what they get. And but I think that's a big deal, man. I've been around some really good football coaches. Pat Hill at Fresno State taught me a ton of stuff too, man. How to not be afraid to play whoever you play, and how to enjoy the game. And so all those men that I've been fortunate to work with and for, hopefully I've taken all the good from them, and I'll meld it with a little bit of me, and we'll go out and have some fun.
Hey, Coach, other than the wins and losses rest of the season here, what's success look like for you and the team?
Well, first of all, let's be honest. Success, first of all, is measured through wins and losses, right? But here's the thing I want. At the end of the day, we all have to answer to ourselves, okay? And what I want every player to be able to do at the end of the year is say, look, man, I shot my best shot. And we're going to play this thing as 1-game seasons, man. We got 4 games. Each game is its separate entity. When it's all said and done, we'll see how it stacks up. But right now, we're worried about 1 game, just one. And that's Navy. We got a great opponent coming in here on Saturday afternoon, and that's going to be it. But the bottom line is, for every coach, every staff member here, every player here, at the end of the year, to say, look, man, I did everything I could to be as good as I could. And if they can do that and fight and work all the way to the end and not let adversity stop them from growing, then mission accomplished. We'll figure out what the numbers say at the end.
Obviously a special moment with Jackson, what he did late in the game. What's it like to coach him and speak on to what he's brought to the team?
Again, when you've coached for a long time, you get to be around some really special dudes, right? And I've told what he did was phenomenally cool. I've been fortunate. I've had Deshaun Jackson, who was I've had Ty Montgomery, who was a national return of the year. I had Christian McCaffrey, who was a national return of the year. Dennis Northcutt at Arizona was one of the premier punt returners in the country. And, you try to tell people, and I've told this football team, and I said, look, man, that cat right there is as good as any kick returner I've had at hitting and getting. And his first 25 is what makes him special, because when he hits it, he hits it. And his desire to get it home, to take it to the house, to get the house call is phenomenal. And, when you have a returner like that, those other 10 dudes are going to feed off of that energy too. And they're going to want it that much more. They're going to want to help get him home. And so, yeah, it's a special moment, because that's a time in the game where, you got two choices, right? You can either, you can say, oh, or you can go, no, let's find a way to get back in this thing. And to have that group, do that, if you go back and look at that film, man, there's a hat on a hat. And there's a guy right there that wasn't going to be denied. And he hits it, and he makes all the right decisions. He makes the kicker miss at the end, and we finish, and now we're in it. Now you got a chance. And that's just it, man. It takes all three phases playing together and feeding off each other and putting yourself in a position to win the game. And so at that point in time, to have him step up and have that group step up, that's a special moment. And, but I will tell you, he's as special a kick returner as any of them I've had. And like I said, man, and I probably I apologize to anybody that might listen or read this that was a kick returner for me that I did not mention. But I've been really, really fortunate to have some really good returners. But I'll tell you what, that cat right there, he stacks up with any of them.
Coach, how do you think the program kind of got to this point? Do you think it was coaching? Do you think it was strength of schedule? Do you think just recruiting wise, it was just with NIL, it's just that much harder every year to kind of restack and reload your roster?
Let me put it to you this way. Okay. In my opinion, football is a one fail, all fail business. Okay. We collectively didn't get the job done. All right. The thing that comes with the deal is the head football coach. All right. Just metaphorically, he's the dude that's on the horse that's out in front of everybody else. When things go right, everything runs through the enemy and he's rolling. When things don't, all right, that's where the first spear gets thrown. That's the guy, because he's out in front. Okay. This wasn't a one person thing. There's a lot of things that are involved in this. And I think this, at the end of the day, we haven't got the job done to date. And now's not the time to say, well, if we had this, or we could have had that, or we should have done this. That's not where it's at, man. We're going to look this way. And at some point, I know that the university is going to do a deep dive into this thing and say, okay, how do we get Rice football where Rice football needs to be? Right now, our concern, the next 4 weeks. And that's all we're going to focus on. Then me too.
All right, we're going to take a couple from people online. Richard, do you have your hand up?
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great as well, thanks. You think how much advantage do you guys have in the fact that Navy really doesn't know what to expect from y'all this week.
Well, you know what? I think Navy is, they're a well-coached, well-prepared team. I'm sure they'll have a plan in place that's going to allow them to handle whatever we might do a little differently. Just don't tell Coach Newberry that we've been putting the wishbone in for the last few days and that we're going to run the Tennessee radar defense. Okay, just don't let him know that, and I think we'll be okay. Honestly though, man, I'm just telling you, you know what? I don't know what the advantage will be. I think that right now we're working on preparing our guys to be the best they can be against what they might do, and who knows, they might come out and do something different too. That's part of the chess game of football.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Anything else from anybody online? All right, Scott, did you say you wanted to?
Yeah, please. Hey, Coach, Scott Wyckoff at WBAL Radio in Baltimore. When you play a service academy, do you hear from your players that, boy, these guys hit a little bit harder? These guys drive this a little harder. These guys come a little bit harder?
I think when you turn the film on, you see that these guys are going to play hard. They're going to play tough. They're physical, hard-nosed guys. And you got to understand something. This is a group of kids that, I say kids, I apologize for that, really young men, that right now they're playing college football, and here in the near future, they're going to go defend America. So the fact that yeah, we would anticipate very much so that these are hard-nosed dudes that are going to play the game hard. They're going to play it physically. I showed a clip in a meeting here today, just watching, there was a loose ball and watching how many different guys dove into the pile to try to find the football for Navy. And that just, that's a play that maybe most people don't notice or don't see, but if you just watch how they played the play, that tells you how they're going to play every play. They're going to play every play to as hard and as fast and as physical as you can play it. And we expect that, and we know it's coming. We need to handle that challenge.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
You bet. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right, any other questions online? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday.
We're going to co-captain Izeya Floyd.
As a captain, what's the last 48 hours or so been like, and any messages to your teammates?
Yeah, it's never easy, like Coach Alamar said, especially having been here as long as I have, and the respect that I have for Coach Bloomgren. He's certainly earned my respect as a person, and I'm grateful for all he's done for me in this life and as a coach. And anyone who ever doubts the effort that man put into this program and the changes that were made is misplaced. So I'm grateful for him. The team is grateful for him. That being said, we have a third of our season left, and Coach Alamar is a great person to take on that opportunity and that role to lead us into battle. And that's exactly what it's going to be this Saturday, is a battle. And we're looking forward to the challenge.
And I know it's just initially in the week, but Horvath on film, what's their quarterback and offense look like from your angle?
Yeah, I'd say the similarities between the service academies that we have on our schedule is there in part, but not entirely. Similarly in the way that they do some option things and they both run through their quarterback, like mentioned, but this kid, Horvath, he's a good player, fast and makes good decisions. And sometimes when he doesn't even make the right decision, he does it because he thinks he's better, and he has proven that he can be at points. It's going to be a great challenge to go against someone like that who has confidence in his ability, and our defense is looking forward to the challenge of playing such a great opponent.
Izeya, can you talk about the change moving forward with the different boys?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, nothing but respect for Coach Bloom. love the guy and I appreciate all the things he's done for me. That being said, he brought Coach Alamar in here because he respects what he can do for this place. Obviously not in the role that he anticipated, but I think everyone in this building has full faith in what Coach Alamar has done already and what they're willing to do, what he's willing to do to go forward. Doubling down on that, when you come into a situation like this, all parts of the staff have to take a step forward, take a step up. And I think that everybody in this building has handled it with grace, and we're going to go forward and win some games.
Talking about Navy, you guys have played one military academy already. You know what the military academies bring. Kind of talk about the mindset going into this game, knowing what you know about the offensive personnel that they have.
Yeah, it's dangerous to compare the two completely and entirely, but there certainly are some similarities as far as schematics go. But the one thing, like mentioned before, that won't change is the physicality and the desire to win and the effort that comes from playing a team like that. It's admirable and something that we try to emulate, especially on the side of the ball that I participate in. So as a team, that's what we strive to be like, and that's what we're going to need to do to go forward and play a good game against this team.
Obviously, it's been a tough week and a tough season at this point. What do you draw on to find that resiliency to finish how you want to?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, actually. One thing that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned as I came up here was I've been on teams here where we haven't had success or reached the goals that we've had. I would argue that this is probably the most underachieving given how we felt about the season going in that we've had. I have never once for a second doubted the desire, the effort, the striving for wins that this team has shown. I'm more proud of the resilience of this team than any other team that I've been on, and there's no doubt about that in my mind. That being said, through all the things that have happened in this season that we didn't want to go our way, not one time have I had to motivate a guy to get up. Not one time has that been a problem, and that hasn't been a problem through these last 48 hours, which you could say has been the most resilience challenging situation. I'm grateful for the guys in this program, and I'm grateful for all the effort that they give as someone who's about to go out. This is my last hurrah being here for a while, and never one time have I had to, get somebody up. It's always there. And so going into these last four games, I don't think that's going to be a problem. And I think we're going to go into every game with the intensity to win, and we're going to do that.
To make it easier or harder, this being your last hurrah one way or another, you only had a couple games left. How does that affect your mindset?
It just is what it is. It's where I am right now. I can't compare it to anything else because I stand here 2 feet where I am right now.
Thanks, Izeya.
Yeah.
All right, any questions online? Go ahead, Scott.
I'm Scott Wyckoff. I'm a reporter with WBAL Radio in Baltimore. I cover the Navy program. When you look at this Navy team, you've seen a lot of offenses over your career. How unique is what they do in respect to, even though they're an option, playing in the wing T style of the option?
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I know Coach comes from some of their offensive influence comes from Mercer and their former places and the gun stuff. They mix it in, and it's impressive to see. I enjoy watching it. I like seeing my boy Javon Bouton, the right tackle, Prestonwood Christian, go out there and do some things. All the pre-snap motion, the shifts, they do it more than anybody in the country. As someone who loves the game, it's fun to watch. That being said, it's fun to watch, but we need to learn how to stop it. And so that's what we're doing this week, is taking in every bit of film that we can and understanding that they're a team that's going to find their places to attack us. And we're going to do our very best to stop it.
And the talk, you've mentioned the respect that you and your coaches and your teammates have for the service academies. Does that make it even sweeter to come out and want to beat them and show them that you can play to a standard that you've built your program on?
Of course, yes. I think the qualities that the service academies exude is admirable. Certainly, there's no other way to put it. Playing football is a warrior sport and a warrior game, and you want to, show the physicality and the discipline that they show, the service academies, Navy included. The only thing that I'm missing out on is playing my former high school teammate Will Harbor, captain of the Navy football team last year. Missed him last year in our first year in the American, but we'll look forward to trying to beat him, to talk to him a little bit about that after the game, but we'll look forward to it.
He's a good man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Richard?
Yeah, just talk about the how encouraged you are about the defensive unit, especially that you got the 2 takeaways last week. So now you guys have got that down. Just talk about how encouraged you are about your defense.
Yeah, I think that was the most glaring problem. We've kind of found our footing a little better in stopping things, and numbers wise, we're doing some good things. But this is a great challenge coming up this week. Finally getting to the point where we're creating some turnovers is something we've been talking about and something we're glad to have achieved. But going forward, we're going to need to continue to do that because it makes a huge difference in the course of a game. So, yeah.
Anything else for Izeya? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Quinton?
What did it mean when you heard Coach Alamar say all that? Make you blush a little?
It means a lot. Coach Alamar coached a lot of good people, like he mentioned, Deshaun Jackson, Christian McCaffrey. So it means a lot to be named with those talented players. So I'm just blessed to be in this position, and I'm very grateful to have him as my coach.
Tell us again what the return was like, what led to that, and then hearing the honor, getting the player of the week in the conference.
What I seen, the first return, like I mentioned on the radio show, I had something on the first return, just didn't finish it. Got tackled by one person. So when we got the next opportunity, I told my team, let's go. This is the opportunity. We need some momentum. Time is ticking. So everybody did their job. Everybody got a hat on a hat, and just led me to the kicker, made a miss, and got in the end zone. It was just a celebration, a party in the end zone. Just happy to finally get it done. And being recognized for that award, it's just not me. It's everybody on this team that helped me along the way. The scout team giving us a good look, the KOR team blocking everybody. I mean, it's not easy. Somebody running full speed, 100 yards at you, and you got to block them. That's a pretty hard job to do. So I'm just thankful for those guys, and they're the reason I got in the end zone. The whole team, the scout team, and then KR team too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, have you seen Deshaun Jackson run all over the field?
Yes, sir.
Can you do that?
I would try to. Deshaun Jackson is a great player and soon to be a Hall of Famer. So to be mentioned with him is an honor. It's an honor.
Talk about when you saw that hole and all that green. What was your reaction? Obviously, to just take off, see you later.
Try to stay calm. Just try to stay calm. I seen them. They made a good block. Micah got the return started, and Tyson did a good job of picking up another guy. And I seen that hole, and I was like, little space. I got to make the kicker miss, and I made a miss. And I just was excited to finally get that finally get one, and first since 2012. So it's just an honor.
Yeah, I think we all have been sort of waiting and watching you do this. Kind of talk about now where you are mentally in preparing for Navy and the confidence that you probably have after that 100-yard return.
I feel like I'm pretty confident. I feel like I've been confident all year. It's just waiting for my moment to happen. I know God put me in this position for a reason. He has my back. So it was just for me, just going out there, giving them my all. Kick return is a pretty hard thing. You got to have a lot of trust. You got to have a lot of trust, and I have a lot of trust in my teammates to get the job done. And I'm just very blessed to be in this position.
I'm sure this is not the first time you've had a coach encourage you or say something nice to pump you up. Is there kind of a point where it kind of sunk home to you that, Coach Alamar talks about, Deshaun Jackson and those guys where you kind of started to maybe not believe it, but kind of feel that like this could be something part of your game?
I feel like it is. Sometimes you got to have some confidence in yourself. Some days it might not be there. Sometimes it might. But having Coach Alamar say that it just means a lot. Can't let that get to your head though. You still gotta, as just one, you got 4 more games left. You still gotta go out there and do it again. You can't just be a one-hit wonder. So, but it means a lot. It means a lot. Coach Alamar is a great coach, and I'm glad he's being able to lead this team because I know he's going to do a great job, and I'm just glad he's on my side.
Are you hinting there might be another one in there somewhere?
Hopefully, God willing, but we're going to see this week, and we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Anything online? Go ahead, Scott.
I'm Scott Wyckoff. I'm a reporter. I cover the Navy football team in Baltimore. What does it mean for you to know that you can invigorate your team and your special teams teammates can do what you did to lift your team up, to give your team an opportunity like that?
It means a lot. You know, that means my teammates trust me, and that's one thing you really want, is your teammates trusting you. You know, football is a trust sport. You know, everybody's 11 people on the field doing their job, and you got to trust they're going to do their job, and you're going to do your job as well. So it means a lot that my teammates trust me, and that's just a heck of an honor to have.
And what's it like to challenge? Navy's a team that plays a lot of their top flight stars, their playmakers on teams. What does that mean for you, the challenge that possesses?
It means a lot. You know, you want to play the best 11, you know? So I know it's going to be a tough game, a challenging game. They're going to be very disciplined. They're going to fly to the ball. So I feel like it's a good challenge for us, and we'll be ready.